The second sentence is this. Whose love he likes is important. The speaker indicates the subject of the be verb is with the subordinate clause whose love he likes. The speaker indicates the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb likes from the subject he with the phrase of the noun whose love in the subordinate clause. The phrase of the relative noun whose love receives the definition of the transitive verb likes from the subject in the subordinate clause he. The range of the object that the noun love described by the possessive determiner whose indicates is determined with the information that the object belongs to an unstated subject in the subordinate clause. The abstract noun love is described by the determiner whose in the declarative statement. We can know that the speaker does not have the interrogative intention. The speaker reveals that the object indicated by the abstract noun love belongs to an unstated subject in this sentence. The speaker just focuses on the object belongs to an unstated subject. The sentence is integrated from the two clauses. The first conference is this. Whose love does he like? The second conference is this. The love is important. The speaker links the interrogative clause transformed into the declarative clause to be linked to the main clause as a subordinate clause because the object indicated by the phrase of the noun whose love corresponds with the subject indicated by the phrase of the noun the love. The speaker links the first conference, that is the interrogative clause, as a subordinate clause. The speaker transforms this interrogative clause into the declarative clause so that the speaker links the subordinate clause to the main clause. The speaker replaces the accorded subject indicated by the phrase of the noun the love with the entire subordinate clause transformed into the declarative clause. The described object by the possessive determiner whose and to receive the definition of the transitive verb likes from the subject he is the subject of the be verb is in the main clause. The entire subordinate clause indicates the described object. The described object in the subordinate clause is applied as the subject of the be verb is in the sentence. The third sentence is this. I studied whose sacrifice Jesus Christ loves. The speaker indicates the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb studied with the subordinate clause whose sacrifice Jesus Christ loves from the speaker as the subject in the main clause. The object indicated by the phrase of the noun whose sacrifice in the subordinate clause received the definition of the transitive verb loves from the subject Jesus Christ. The phrase of the relative noun whose sacrifice indicates the object of the transitive verb loves. The object indicated by the noun sacrifice belongs to an unstated subject in the subordinate clause because the noun sacrifice is described by the possessive determiner whose. The speaker focuses on the fact that the object indicated by the noun sacrifice belongs to an unstated subject in the sentence. The sentence is integrated from the two conferences. The first conference to be the main clause is this: I studied his sacrifice. The second conference to be the subordinate clause is this: who sacrificed us Jesus Christ love. The speaker links the interrogative clause transformed into the declarative clause to be linked to the main clause as a subordinate clause because the object of the transitive verb studied, indicated by the phrase of the noun his sacrifice, corresponds with the object of the phrase of the transitive verb does love, indicated by the phrase of the noun whose sacrifice. The speaker links the second conference transformed into the declarative clause to become the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause replaces the object of the transitive verb studied in the first conference because of the accordance between the two indications. The first indication is the phrase of the noun his sacrifice. The second indication is the phrase of the relative noun whose sacrifice. The described object by the possessive determiner whose, and from the definition of the transitive verb loves, is applied as the object of the transitive verb studied in the main clause.